Welcome back to our deep dive on using a 5-level metadata model for amazing customer experiences.
Yeah. Last time we explored each level: perceptual, terminological, ontological, taxonomical, and intentional.
It was like building a house, right? Each level adding a layer.
Exactly. Now we're tackling a real business challenge.
Ooh, lay it on me.
Imagine a company wants to seriously up their customer experience game.
Seamless interactions, personalized recommendations, the works.
You got it. But their product data is a disaster.
Yikes. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. So where does this 5-level model come in?
This model isn't just for libraries, it's about making information understandable and useful.
Okay, so how does it help businesses with messy data?
Imagine your product data was organized like a library, everything in its place.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here, but where do we begin with this data overhaul?
We start with perceptual disentanglement.
Perceptual disentanglement. Sounds complex.
Think of it like interviewing witnesses to a crime. Everyone sees things differently, right?
Makes sense. Same with users and products. Everyone has a different perspective.
Exactly. This stage is all about understanding how different customers perceive the product.
So are they tech savvy or beginners? Price sensitive or feature focused?
You got it. And this is where generative AI can be a huge help.
AI, how does that fit in?
It's like your AI detective partner.
Okay, I like where this is going.
It can analyze tons of data reviews, social media posts, support tickets.
Wow, that's a lot of information to sift through.
And AI can do it really fast, identifying patterns in how people perceive the product.
So AI does all the work and we just sit back and relax.
Not so fast. Human insight is still crucial.
Right, AI is a tool, not a replacement for human thinking.
Exactly. You need to validate the AI's findings. Do they hold up in the real world?
So check against actual customer interviews or existing user research.
Exactly. It's all about human-AI collaboration.
I'm starting to see the power of this combination. AI analyzes the data, humans connect the dots and see the bigger picture.
Precisely. Let's say your AI uncovers that elderly users struggle to find a specific feature.
Ah, so you can use that insight to simplify the interface or create targeted tutorials.
You got it. AI flags the issue. Human expertise provides the solution.
Awesome. Okay, we've tackled the perceptual level, understanding how our customers see the product. What's next?
Now we move on to terminological disentanglement.
Terminological disentanglement. Another complex term.
Think of it like this. You and a friend are putting together a puzzle.
Okay, I can picture that.
You call a piece a corner, your friend calls it an edge.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we've all been there.
You're both talking about the same thing, but using different words, which can be confusing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Especially if you're trying to collaborate on something important.
It's the same with product data. Different teams might use different terms for the same feature.
Leading to miscommunication and wasted effort.
Exactly. Terminological disentanglement is about creating a shared vocabulary.
So everyone's on the same page, no more internal jargon or confusing synonyms.
You got it. And guess what can help us build this shared vocabulary?
I bet it's our AI detective partner again.
You're catching on. It's more like a language translator in this case.
Okay, how does AI translate language for product data?
It analyzes customer language from reviews, feedback forms, social media.
And then it suggests terms that resonate with how customers actually talk about the product.
Exactly. Instead of forcing our internal jargon on customers, we adapt to their language.
That's a smart approach. But doesn't that give AI too much control over our brand voice?
But worry, human oversight is still crucial.
Right. AI suggests, humans decide.
Just because AI suggests a term doesn't mean it's the best fit for your brand.
So we still need to ensure consistency and clarity.
Imagine if customers keep calling a report a summary in their feedback.
Maybe it's time to rename that feature to avoid confusion.
Precisely. That's terminological disentanglement in action, speaking the same language as your customers.
Makes perfect sense. So we've decoded customer perceptions and established a clear vocabulary. What's next in our metadata house?
Now we move on to ontological disentanglement.
Ontological disentanglement. That sounds even more complex.
It sounds intimidating, but it's really about defining what things are, their essential nature.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but how does that apply to something as practical as product data?
Think about classifying animals.
Okay, like a lion is a mammal and a bird is a bird.
Exactly. We're defining their essence. Now, apply that to product features and data points.
So we're categorizing them based on their fundamental nature.
You got it. Is this feature a process or a property? Does this data point relate to user information or product functionality?
I see. So it's about Understanding the core characteristics of each piece of data.
Precisely. For example, if you determine that customer feedback is a process, you might design your systems to capture not just the feedback itself, but also the steps leading up to it.
That adds a whole new layer of understanding. But classifying everything in our system sounds incredibly time-consuming.
Don't worry, AI can help us here too. We have established frameworks called top-level ontologies.
Top-level ontologies, what are those?
Think of them as blueprints for classifying things.
Okay, so they provide a structured way to categorize our data.
Exactly. And generative AI can map our product data to these ontologies.
So it's like having an AI librarian who suggests the best category for each piece of data.
That's a great analogy, but remember, human experts still make the final call.
Right, AI suggests, humans decide, ensuring it aligns with our business needs.
Which ontology fits best? How should each data point be categorized? It's about human oversight.
I see it's a partnership. AI provides the initial sorting, humans make the strategic decisions.
Exactly. We've moved from messy data to a structured foundation, a shared language.
And now we have a framework for categorizing everything. This is really starting to come together.
It is, isn't it? And we're just getting started. Now we get to organize those elements. It's taxonomical disentanglement.
Taxonomical disentanglement. Okay, remind me what that is again?
Imagine you're organizing a library.
Oh, right. We talked about that before.
You can arrange books by genre, author, publication date.
So many options.
And it's the same with product data. All those features, user data points, how do they relate to each other?
Yeah, how do we organize them in a way that makes sense?
Exactly. You could organize by functionality, user type, product category.
So many possibilities. How do we even begin to choose?
This is where generative AI really shines. It can brainstorm multiple taxonomies for you.
So, like an AI architect, designing different layouts for our data library.
Perfect analogy. But ultimately, the humans choose the best taxonomy.
Right, the one that aligns with our business goals and enhances the customer experience.
Think of it like you wouldn't organize a children's library the same way as a research library.
Of course not. The way you categorize information should depend on who's using it.
Exactly. For example, you might decide to organize product features hierarchically.
With broad categories like communication and management.
And then subdivide those into more specific functions.
Creating a clear, structured system that everyone can understand and use.
And that translates to a more intuitive experience for your customers.
So it's a win-win. We've gone from messy data to a structured foundation, a shared vocabulary, and now a clear taxonomy. What's the final step in our data house?
The final step is intentional disentanglement. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty detail.
Okay, from big picture to specifics. Instead of books, we're defining each data point in our product data.
You got it. You're defining how each data point is described, what data type is it, what relationships does it have.
So is it numerical data, text data, or image data? Is it connected to a user or a feature?
Exactly. It's about making the data usable for systems and algorithms, like creating a detailed catalog for your library.
I can see how this would be crucial for things like personalized recommendations, targeted marketing.
You're right, it can get quite complex, but AI can be a huge help here too.
I was hoping you'd say that. How does AI help with intentional disentanglement?
It can help generate descriptions and map out those connections between data points.
Like an AI librarian meticulously cataloging each book.
Exactly. But as always, human experts are still essential.
Right, to ensure accuracy and alignment with our business goals.
It's about that balance between AI efficiency and human oversight.
Can you give me an example of how this might work in practice?
Let's say you're dealing with user feedback data. You might define the user feedback data point as a string.
Okay, a string of text.
That includes the date, user ID, and the feedback text itself. Then you might link it to the relevant product feature.
And maybe even categorize it based on sentiment, positive, negative, neutral.
Exactly. This allows you to analyze feedback for specific features, identify trends, personalize responses.
Wow, this is really powerful stuff. We've gone through all 5 levels of disentanglement, seeing how AI can be a valuable ally at each step.
And now you have this incredible foundation to build truly exceptional customer experiences.
Personalized recommendations, targeted tutorials, proactive support, anticipating needs before they're even voiced.
That's the power of this approach. You're not just reacting to problems, you're proactively creating a seamless, enjoyable experience.
It sounds almost too good to be true. But I'm sure some listeners are wondering about the ROI of all this.
A valid question. We'll dive into that in the final part of our deep dive.
Can't wait. I'm already starting to see how this 5-level model can be a game changer.
It's not just about organizing data, it's about understanding your customers on a deeper level and using that knowledge to create experiences that truly delight them.
Okay, so we've laid the groundwork. This 5-level metadata model can transform messy product data into a well-organized, insightful system.
Right.
Now, let's get down to brass tacks. How does this translate into real business value and a better customer experience?
This is where it gets really exciting. Think about personalization. With this deep understanding of your product and your customers, you can tailor the whole experience to individual needs.
You mean like recommending features based on what would be most valuable to that specific user, not just what's popular?
Exactly.
It's like having a personal shopper for your product.
Yes. And this personalization goes beyond just recommendations.
Oh, interesting. So how else does it apply?
Onboarding tutorials can be targeted to different tech skill levels.
Making sure everyone feels supported.
Right. Marketing messages can resonate with specific customer pain points, and you can even anticipate problems before they arise.
That's incredible. It's like going from reacting to issues to proactively creating a smooth experience.
Exactly.
But I imagine this level of personalization requires a ton of data processing.
It does.
Is that even feasible for businesses with limited resources?
This is where AI is essential.
Ah, AI to the rescue again.
With the right AI tools, you can automate a lot of the heavy lifting,
Like analyzing data, identifying patterns.
even generating those personalized recommendations.
This frees up human teams to focus on strategy and relationship building.
Exactly.
AI handles the data, humans provide the creativity and human touch.
It's a powerful partnership.
It is. But beyond happy customers, how does this data-driven approach impact the business itself?
It helps you make better product decisions.
Oh, how so?
Let's say you're developing a new feature. Instead of relying on intuition, you can analyze how similar features are used.
And use that data to guide your development process.
You got it. You can identify potential problems early on.
It's like having a crystal ball for product decisions.
In a way, but it all comes back to having accurate, well-organized data.
Which is where our 5-level model comes in.
Right. And the benefits go beyond individual decisions.
What do you mean?
This deep understanding of your data can reveal larger trends.
Giving you insights into evolving customer needs.
Exactly. This can shape your product roadmap.
Helping you prioritize features that align with long-term goals.
You got it. It's about anticipating future needs, staying ahead of the curve.
This is really powerful stuff. But are there any challenges in implementing this kind of data-driven approach?
One challenge is internal communication.
Making sure everyone's on the same page.
Remember how we talked about a shared vocabulary? That applies across the whole organization.
So marketing, engineering, customer support, everyone working from the same data.
That's the goal. It streamlines collaboration, eliminates silos, and miscommunication.
That's huge. I can imagine how much smoother things would run if everyone had access to the same well-organized information.
Absolutely. And this clear communication extends to your customers, too.
How interesting. How so?
When everyone in your company is working from the same data, your messaging becomes more consistent.
It builds trust, reinforces your brand.
Exactly.
I'm sold. This 5-level model, combined with AI, is a game changer for any business that wants to create exceptional customer experiences.
It is.
It's not just about organizing data, it's about creating a culture of clarity, collaboration, and customer focus.
You nailed it, but I know it can feel overwhelming.
It is a lot to take in. What are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Start small.
Don't try to do everything at once.
Right. Focus on one area where your data is messy or where you see a big opportunity to improve the customer experience.
So take a strategic, step-by-step approach.
Exactly. Experiment with AI tools as you go. And don't be afraid to adjust your approach as you learn.
Makes sense. What else should our listeners keep in mind?
Remember, technology is just one piece of the puzzle. Building a customer-centric organization requires a shift in mindset.
Putting the customer at the heart of everything you do.
You got it. It's about fostering empathy, open communication, and continuous learning.
And as we've seen, AI can be a powerful partner in this journey. It can help us analyze data, automate tasks, and free us to focus on the human side of things.
Absolutely. And as AI continues to advance, we can expect even more possibilities for enhancing the customer experience.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
We focused on using this model to enhance the customer experience for a product.
Right?
But what if we apply these same principles to other areas of business?
That's a great question. This model is about understanding and improving any complex system.
So it could be used to disentangle and organize our internal data.
Absolutely. Or marketing strategies, company culture.
The possibilities are endless. It's a reminder that in a world overflowing with information, clarity is more valuable than ever.
It is.
So keep exploring, keep experimenting.
And never stop learning.
And on that note, we come to the end of our deep dive. We've explored the power of the 5-level metadata model and the exciting potential of AI.
It's been a great discussion.
It has. But the real learning starts now. Take what you've learned and apply it to your own business challenges. Experiment, iterate, and never stop asking questions.
That's the key. We're all in this together, learning and growing.
So until next time, keep diving deep and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We can't wait to see what you create.